A bit of a surprise exchange listing for Brett earlier today, and I would argue that this listing is more influential than the exchange's ranking would indicate. So maybe you heard the news. It dropped kind of out of left field today. Binance US, they are officially listing Brett, and it's a wham bam listing. Trading will start tomorrow, July 31st at 7 a.m. Eastern. So this wasn't some, okay, first we're going to list on some, roadmap or a Binance Alpha list. You kind of know it's coming, and then the listing happens. This one was just out of left field, took everyone by surprise in a very, very good way. Now, Binance US, they're currently ranked the number 23 biggest spot market exchange in the world. So not top 10, not top 15, not huge, but back in 2022 and early 2023, they reached as high as number 8 in the world. That was before the SEC sued them, and then the SEC ended up dropping their lawsuit recently. But in the process, Binance US lost a lot of market share to Coinbase, which they've had a little bit of trouble getting back. So why is this listing kind of a surprise? Well, it is simple, because up until now, Binance US and Binance Global haven't really been that friendly towards the Base network in general. Now, that could be changing now. It looks like it is, but up until this point, they haven't been that friendly. Why? Because they view the Base network as their arch rival, Coinbase's home chain. Coinbase executives and Base network head devs, they all live very close to each other in Silicon Valley. Coinbase's venture capital arm has invested in at least half a dozen early stage Base network projects, and Coinbase, the exchange, has listed a ton of Base coins. For example, they've listed Toshi, they've listed Keyboard Cat, and I believe they have listed Ski Mask Dog as well. So the bottom line is, in the same way that Coinbase isn't really that friendly to Binance Smart Chain, because that's their arch rival's home chain, Binance, up until this point, hasn't really been that friendly to the Base network. But whereas Coinbase still does not support the Base chain network in any capacity on its platform, very unusual, Binance and Binance US are the first to have kind of made some lighthearted steps toward collaborating with their arch rival. Specifically, 3 months ago, Binance US, for the first time ever, announced support, limited support for the Base network. Specifically, you could deposit ETH on Base and USDC on Base, and then they followed that up with, about a month ago, they announced they were going to list their first Base chain coin, Virtuals Protocol. So Brett, I believe, is now the second Base chain specific coin that they have listed. And Binance, it is worth noting, they added Base support about a good 2 years ago in September of 2023 with the same two tokens, Ethereum on Base, USDC on Base, and then Virtuals on Base, but they haven't listed anything else until then. And before we go any further with Brett, just some updates from my go-to crypto exchange that I use for all my trading needs, BTCC. So if you're not familiar with them, they are fully available for traders in the USA, like myself, and Canada and Europe, and pretty much everywhere else. No VPN or KYC is needed. Additionally, we're coming to the start of August, and so some new campaigns are kicking off from the exchange. For example, the Hot Coins Trading Week. This one has 4 days left. It just started. If you trade any of these futures pairs or any of these spot pairs to a certain volume, then you can get up to $100 cashback reward. Additionally, there's a copy trading loss program. If you open up your first copy trading position during the month of July and that results in a loss, BTCC will cover the first $50 of that loss. And then finally, there is the deposit reward program. If you deposit any amount of money, for example, $500 within 7 days of signing up for an account in BTCC, then you get a $20 trading fund. And if you want to sign up for any of these campaigns, or if you just want to sign up for an account on BTCC, you don't have one already, you want to get up to $10,000 in bonuses. The bonus money can be used to cover things like trading fees, trading losses, and other stuff. Then use my links at the top of the description area right there. So now back to Brett. With the Binance US lead, that means pretty much the only top exchanges they are not on are Binance, Coinbase, and then they're also on OKX, but OKX, the founder, doesn't like meme coins, so he doesn't list meme coins anymore, so that's not that unusual. Other than that, Brett is on Bybit, the number 2 exchange. They are on Upbit, a big Korean exchange, the number 4. Most meme coins aren't. They are. Brett is also on BitGet. They are on Gate. They're on KuCoin. They're on Huobi. I believe they're on Mexi as well. So it's on pretty much everything except Binance and Coinbase. Now, Brett, price-wise, a lot of people are complaining. It's only up 3.5-4% of the day, 540 million market cap currently. But keep in mind, the entire market, particularly memes, are down today. Here's my large cap meme coin watch list I have. The only one in the green is Brett, up 4%. All the other ones, Pepe, SPX, Farcoin, Mog, etc., they are all down. And even if we go to the Base chain specific sector, of meme coins. You think maybe the Brett on Binance US listing heated up the whole sector. That's just not quite what happened, because there's Brett up 4%. And then, yes, Ski Mask Dog is also up 4%. But Keyboard Cat, they're down 3%. And Dog and Me, they're down 6% on the day. Mr. Miggles, they are down 7%. Crow with Knife is down 1%. So the fact that, bottom line is, the fact that Brett is up at all today is a good thing. Now, why is the market down today? Well, simply put, because we're in the middle of summer. Late July, August is in 2 days. August is the single worst performing month for Bitcoin on a monthly median basis since 2013. So people might be having some jitters, seeing that August is coming up. They might be lightly selling their bags. Additionally, the Fed had a meeting today, and then we're expected to maybe say in September we might think about cutting interest rates. They didn't say that, so that combined with the August coming up news sort of just caused the market to dip. Don't get me wrong. If we were in Pumptober, in the month of October, any sort of minor Federal Reserve notes that didn't go our way, that would be completely drowned out by the positive pump. So it's mostly just the August thing, but whatever. That's it. Brett Army, get pumped about this Binance US listing. Hopefully there's more to come. I'll be back later in the video. Signing out. Catch you later.